Thank you, Pathak sir, for your enlightening address on the impact of and way forward with geospatial guidelines. I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Vishal Anand, Senior Vice President Sales at Esri India. Mr. Anand has a rich experience of more than 22 years working with customers across various segments in national and local government. He has been closely involved with mission-critical deployment of transformational programs across states, national mapping organization projects, e-governance, water resources, forestry, education, and map production. Mr. Anand, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Sakshi. Let me start with congratulating AGI for putting this IGLS event. Not easy in these times. And I'm very privileged to be a part of this, seeing a lot of senior government dignitaries attending this, industry colleagues, a lot of friends meeting together after a long time. I hope we can continue this and with God willing. At the same time, this is also a very important forum to discuss a lot of ideas, deliberate on how geospatial technology as a whole is taking its course forward. Some excellent inaugural session speakers, a lot of learning which came from them. And two of my earlier speakers actually did my job very easy because they talked about the various project need it involves in creating a project like Swamitva or Surf India or guidelines they are trying to take care of them. And Rahulji talked about how smart city is taking its course and actions in creating a lot of use cases around geospatial technology. In next 15 minutes or so, though I was told it has to be completed in 10, I'll try to see if I can make it. I will be taking you through a full technology dope on how we can empower these large programs and national programs with GIS and the technology around it. Yeah. So the topic would be GIS technology supporting national programs. And why technology is an important piece. And what are the national programs? If I go back a little, national programs are the programs which has many moving parts. Basically, they're conceived at a level, at a stage where people have not really thought about what would be the future. They take many years. They include a lot of state governments, national governments, a lot of procedure, challenges, and eventually what we start and where we end, I mean, the projects sometimes have a various challenging phase, and it's a demand of a project. So technology become a very important piece here because it needs to be sustained. It's a long term, so it needs to be sustained. Scalable and agile because if the project keep on changing, the need keep on changing, they need to be scalable. Flexible and configurable because any technology today need to be flexible of whatever the ask coming in from all those moving components. Aligned to project changing demands and complements the IT advancement. If you see, I've underlined that part, complement the IT advancement because, and IT, the way IT is changing, it's really mind-boggling in last 5 to 10 years we have seen, or let me stick to 5 years. The way it has changed, it's really, I'll say, overwhelming part to be in. And whenever I talk about IT, I love to show this report of IDC, which talked about the way the platform is changing from 3rd generation to 4th generation. If you see this in my slide, it's the continuous industry transformation from a lot of components, robotics planning, big data, cloud, and it is being complemented by a lot of infrastructure technologies, like cyber, like cloud, like whatnot. And then we talk of millions and billions of applications, users, and data points. And we are already talking about getting into the 4th generation. Having said that, the point is, if I get into this key technology priorities, like cloud computing, like cyber, like big data, like health IT and AI. So the idea is, are our national and large programs are ready to embrace these technology advancements? That's very important because technology is growing day by day. Do we have a readiness to take care of this advancement? And if you remember the talk by General Girish Kumar, he almost talked about all these words. and many other projects talked about taking advantage of cloud, taking advantage of data centers, taking advantage of AI, which means there is a major readiness in large programs to take care of this IT advancement. Now, if that is the case, the question two which arises, is our GIS technology ready to take care of this, align with this, and give a meaningful solution to our programs? And the answer is yes. But at the same time, we should not forget the fundamental of GIS. GIS started with spatial analysis, the art of creating maps, the art of making maps, the art of measure, analyze, take a lot of decision, and making sure we go out of the market in a framework around geography. So with this, and I mean, I don't want to talk much about ArcGIS, but you all know how the GIS technology is becoming interconnected. It started with 15, 20 years back where people were restricted to their desktop, my project, my system, and my use case. Then it became enterprise, where people want to share the data, go to web. Web was also increasing that time. And then they say, okay, web is fine, desktop is fine. Can we create a lot of maps or apps around it? And we can share with people who doesn't have either knowledge or system available when it comes to GIS. And then cloud came. Everything can be rendered from the cloud, and everything can be embedded into various other systems. So it's becoming majorly interconnected day by day, which actually answers my second question, that GIS is taking care of whatever advancement which is happening in the arena of IT. Our capabilities are, taking care of all the algorithms of AI, ML, whatever is happening in data science world, whatever happening in the robotics and planning and 3D printing. We are taking care of everything. So, which means our national programs have a readiness, the technology has a readiness. The idea is to build something around this so that we can effectively manage these programs in a timely delivery plan. Now, why these programs are important, or why this technology play a very big piece? We all know all these programs come with a huge data component. And data is a driving force for any intelligence, for any decision making. And we as an organization, a lot of our customers expect us to take care of the data. But let me also tell you, in last few years, the data has crossed its boundary from not only becoming spatial, but actually it is becoming majorly non-spatial as well. Tabular data, real-time motion data, and whatnot. Though the expected is you mix the data together and come out with some neat analytics or use case. So we are doing a lot of work in this area. Our product called ArcGIS Knowledge is taking care of spatial as well as non-spatial data. We are combining the workflows and coming out with some meaningful use cases for our user, so that you need not worry about what data source it is. Everything is ingested, and eventually what you get is nice web maps, web apps, and some application use cases. So data is the first one, and second, we also understand that every project doesn't start with the data. Data is available, sometimes it is not available. So we also make sure we give you something attached with ArcGIS in the form of Living Atlas. So ArcGIS products come with Living Atlas. We take care of a lot of content around base maps, around imagery, around point of interest, and whatnot, so that at least you can jumpstart your project and need not worry on data from day one. It is available, it is free of cost, and people and users are actually making a lot of use around it. The third piece are the engines. I mean, most of you are ArcGIS user here. ArcGIS is all about spatial analytics. So what makes us unique, and which is a very important piece in any national program, is the engines around it. Do we have algorithm for taking care of AI ML? Or if Smart City want to use a lot of IoT-based data coming in at a near real-time basis, do we have that kind of capability to take care? Yes, we have. So the graph analysis, which is very, very new to geospatial sector, we are taking care of graph analytics and AI ML, and the approach is give you something together in the form of a right use case and embracing to the technology advancements. So having right data and way to explore the data, having right engines, also give another thing, which is that the product we launched a few months back, Indo ArcGIS. So why we did that? We did that because we also felt the need, and a lot of feedback which has come from user. ArcGIS is great, but we also need to kickstart our project with a lot of I'll say data models and a lot of content and a lot of libraries. We want to focus on our own domain, and what it needs to in terms of workflow and in terms of data model should be taken care. And if you again remember in the inaugural session, two of the speakers spoke about your projects will not talk to each other if you don't put them in a right fashion, in terms of right data model, in terms of right workflows. So that's a key. And that's what we did with providing a lot of solution templates around ArcGIS, and so that you just worry about your own domain. Don't worry about how it is stored, what are the content libraries, what is the data model structures, what are the workflows. This is all taken care by our templates. And we are developing this every now and then, but there are so many ready-made solution template available in terms of disaster management, in terms of forestry, then police modernization, and many, many other sectors can be used, available with ArcGIS and Indo-ArcGIS. Having talked about this, which is basically starting from, do we have the wherewithal to take care? Our large program has a readiness, we have a readiness, we can join together. There's another product which I want to talk about, is SiteScan. And this basically comes into picture where we want to embrace a lot of cloud in our project. Samitva is one of them, but if I talk of many other projects, we want to take care of cloud. Cloud is not just about storing your data there, but it's all about what all you can do with that huge infrastructure. SiteScan for ArcGIS makes sure your entire drone processing happens end-to-end over cloud, right from flight plan, which is an important piece in this entire drone processing and management. Second, you process everything somewhere which is cloud-based out of India. It's AWS. And then you disseminate and collaborate and come back to your ArcGIS environment. So think of a scenario where thousands and millions of images are getting processed in a span of hours in a same environment of ArcGIS, and you're disseminating it in a day's time. So this helps. The speed of which this entire thing is done helps a lot of large programs, and we are already seeing the advantage which government is taking around it. Now, supporting many national programs, so I talked about technology. I would also like to mention a few of the programs which are being supported very, very well by geospatial technology. There are hundreds of them, and all are close to my heart and organization heart. Not easy to mention them all here because of paucity of time. She's already looking at me. But I'd like to mention a few of them which are really critical. I'll start with the Ministry of Water Resources did a great program called VARIS. Why it is important? Because it started way back when technology was just getting into WebGIS. They came into phase 2 and phase 3, and under the aegis of NHP, they could make this very, very robust, where states talk to center, and a lot of indicators, management everything is done. A lot of use cases are coming out in this program of repute called VARIS. Bharat Maps, I mean, this doesn't need any introduction. Bharat Map is an NIC flagship program, and most of the government departments touch this program day in and day out. A lot of seamless data which comes from the background, make sure a lot of use case around many, many small GIS projects come through Bharat Maps. Surf India did a great project which was called Bharat Geo Hub. The objective was, can we download the maps? Can we buy the maps online? Can we have some government to government, government to citizen interface with Surf India? And I would not like to talk much about this because the person who conceived this, the person who executed this is in front of me. I'll be nervous talking much about this, but it's a very good program done by Surf India. Kashi Geo Hub, a smart city, Varanasi, did another program, and I would urge that all of you must visit this site, and you would know much more about what Kashi is trying to do. Great dashboards at the executive level, at a citizen level, and how they are actually using geospatial technology, and which is touching citizen life as well. Samvita program, Pathakji talked about, and I said how drone processing is important and how we are trying to come up with speed with this program and making sure the deliveries are done in hours. So there's another one. GMIS portal, Rahulji talked about this. Very important portal. It's not only a lot of dashboard and project management tool, but this is also a health indicator of many, many smart cities. How they manage the performance of the smart city is coming out from this portal called GMIS web portal. And then something on Swachh Bharat mission. 4,000 plus ULBs are using these tools in the whole Jan Andolan called Swachh Bharat. So it's limitless. As we know, geospatial applications are agnostic to any of the industry. You think of work, you think of a project, you will find some location component available to it, and hence the geospatial technology. So I would like to sum up with this, that technologies are improving day by day. It's on us how much we want to use them, how much we want to perform on top of those technology, and then make sure the large programs are not only delivered well, but delivered on time. Thank you so much.